Hey everybody, welcome back to M.O.G Bass Fishing. Today we're on Lake Greenwood. We're gonna be doing a little practice for Friday, and then Friday, of course, a little derby day. We'll see how it is. It's a little bit windy conditions today, and tomorrow should be about the same. Mid 40s to 55s. Feels like it's definitely in that fall right now, but you can see them kind of doing a little bit of that winter transition, because of course in South Carolina it's either freezing cold or it's blazing hot and no in between, so that's always great. But yeah, so we'll hopefully try to stick some good ones, possibly maybe thinking like the Mickey, shaky head, jig, you know, like the usual. We might start off a little top water this morning and see what ends up going on. Alrighty, well, I'll see y'all later. Peace. GoPro. Little one. So for that fish, basically what I'm doing is there's a whole bunch of bait balls everywhere, and I'm just scoping the bait balls. I mean, you'll find them, and you can come out here with LiveScope. Got my depth range at 40, looking at about 100 feet, and I'm just scoping around, finding the singles and just tossing at them. And when you're tossing at them though, you can't just be like somewhat close. Like, you have to be on top of the fish. Basically, I'm hitting them with the head, and then I'm working that Demiki up. And as fast as I work it up is dependent on how fast the fish are coming to it. If they're coming to it really slow, then I'm barely kind of working it. Still shaking my rod, but I'm barely reeling it up. But if they're shooting towards it, then I'm moving that thing quick. Just so that they can, I mean, just so that they know it's real, and I don't want to work it too fast to where it kind of gets out of their sight. Finally, suckers to eat. That's a good one. 2.5. Still little, but they're biting. All right, so a little midday report. We've caught a good bit of fish. No crazy big ones. I mean, we had that like 2.5 that was touching 3, and then we had some chunkier ones, but not much. We probably got around 10-ish so pounds. But yeah, just sticking to it. Just throwing that little Demiki with a little 4-inch spunk shad on it. It's getting the job done for sure. I mean, of course, it's showing the numbers. It's just kind of like, do I want to keep doing that and try to find just strictly the big ones, or do I want to keep on flipping docks? So my thing with dock fishing though is it's very much like if you catch a big one off that dock, you probably won't catch them tomorrow. So I could shake them off, but it's still pretty hairy. This bite is definitely what I'll probably end up doing tomorrow. Is we'll throw this spunk shad around, catch us maybe around hopefully 12 pounds, and then from there we can go and try to skip some docks and hopefully get all big, bump that weight up. But yeah, I mean, it's been a good day so far. Weather's pretty beautiful. It's about 60s right now. Nothing too crazy. Really just focusing on where the wind's blowing. Those points that the wind's blowing on seems to be where the shad are hosting. And then if the shad are there, of course, the fish are not far behind it. It seems like any pockets that are kind of out of the wind, they're pretty dead. Maybe just a small one here or there, but nothing like as big as like the other ones that are really getting the wind pushed on them seem to have the bigger fish on them. And it's really just, if you could find those sharp ditches that the wind's blowing in, those shad just seem to kind of be cooped up all in there. And really from that depth range, about 20 to 30 feet seems to kind of be the key area. I've gone up to a few like 15 shallow foot sections, but it really seems like that, especially that 20 to 30 foot section is really kind of where they're holding up. But yeah, let's get back to it. Another 2.5-er. right, everybody, well, that concludes the end of the first day of practice. Hopefully y'all learned something. I mean, overall it was a decent day. Caught some good ones, but definitely need to find those bigger bites tomorrow. Probably be cycling some stuff, maybe start early. I'll probably start on some rock, try to go for like a big bite in the beginning, and then just go Demiki fish for a good little limit. Once we do that, we'll probably just throw around a big old jig or a big old swim bait and try to get that old monster to bite. And yeah, I think that'll be the game plan, and hopefully it all works out. We'll see y'all tomorrow morning. Hey everybody, welcome back. It's tournament day. Gonna get it done this morning. Starting off on some shoals, some good points, so hopefully we can get us that big one. Let's go. Keeper. First keeper. Small GoPro. No small. Better.
one.
Hey everybody, so to wrap up this Greenwood video, I'm just going to give y'all kind of the rest of what happened and some baits that I used. So towards the end, probably around like 12 o'clock, my GoPro ended up dying. Of course, like when does it not? And it was just like some other problems that was happening with my SD card, blah, blah, blah. It was just annoying. But anyway, so we ended up catching like a 2-pounder. So it was a great way to kind of lead to the end, and at the very end I ended up catching a 4.5, which was amazing. And you would think with 4.5 pounder that you would have a really good bag, and my scale that I had on the boat said I did have a good bag. I thought I had like 13 and a half, but no, I actually ended up having like 11 and a half. So that definitely kind of threw a curveball into my reaction, because my scale said I was touching 13, and usually it weighs low, so I thought I was 13 and a half. But actually I ended up only having 11 and a half. But anyway, still got a top 10, can't complain. Was doing a new technique and ended up working out really well, which was I had my graph set on 20 to 30 feet, even if I was in like 40, 50 feet of water, because the bass were staying, no joke, 5 feet under the water. Like they were just roaming around on top. For what reason, I don't know, but they were. And this bait right here, the stroll shad by a hog farmer, was the key. And that's on a 1/4 ounce Northland head, and I'm throwing it on a loop knot. And that loop knot, of course, was also key. Like did normal, I did polymer, but it really seemed like when it was rolling and on 8 to 6 pound line, that they would just smash it. You throw anything heavier than that, they kind of ended up being a little bit finicky. Like you might not get as many big ones as you would if you threw like light line in the loop knot. I don't know why. It's just how it was. And that color seemed to be, I think that's blue gizzard, but I'm pretty sure that color was just, it was amazing. Like that one they keyed in the best. I was throwing a like a gizzard speckle shad or something like that from Crush City, and that one did good, but they just broke apart so easily. Now these hog farmers, like you can probably catch 20 fish on these things before they break. I mean, great quality, and that tail action in them is just amazing. Now next up, I was throwing this jerkbait. This is of course like a Vision 110, and great color, does a great job. Can't complain, of course. These Edus do just an amazing job wherever you are. River systems, lakes, like I've caught so many good fish on them. I know they're expensive, but they do get the job done. I mean, we're already spending the money in this sport, so what does a little bit more hurt anybody? Yeah, I mean, that one I was actually, this one I'm throwing on 16 pound line, which I know you could say is heavy. Like most of the time I throw it on 10 to 12, but I was throwing it on that 16 because I wanted that jerkbait to stay up really high. And when you throw it on that 16, it really just kind of course, you can horse them a little bit more. And I mean, the main thing is just the depth. Like it would stay in like 3 to 4 feet of water, which was perfect. Like didn't need to go any deeper than that. So being able to keep it high like that was just great. And yeah, I mean, that's basically just an easy rundown of what happened. I mean, it was a good little top 10. I really can't complain, especially because I hadn't been in Greenwood in a while. And I mean, practice went well. Definitely learned a whole bunch about throwing that Demiki and being able to utilize it in different situations. So yeah, hopefully y'all learned something. Hopefully y'all can take this to Lake Greenwood yourselves and give it a shot, and keep on fishing and keep on reeling them in. See y'all later. Peace.